It's time to get on up with Jam and Renee. And here's your hosts, James Arthur M. and Renee Culver.
Good morning. Look at that. Renee is bit bopping around, coming in crystal clear. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Backchannel, the only place where you can listen to, watch, and chat live with your hosts that you are taking in this Friday morning. And you are right now watching Get On Up. And look, you're even getting ready to see all the amazing people
that is a preview, the likes of which we were all hoping for. That's exactly what we're getting ourselves into.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you are watching Get On Up with Jam and Renee. I am your breakfast jam for the morning, James Arthur M.
And I am Renee Culvert. Happy Friday. Happy
Friday, as the kids are saying.
Yay to each and every one of us.
I guess it's Saturday. If Thursday is Friday Junior, does that make Friday Senior or Friday or is Friday Senior? Is this Friday Senior?
No. Oh, when you're right. I think. How about Friday is the main event, so we'll just introduce that, and then Saturday is the after party, because that's where you get yourself into trouble. Is that after party?
Yes,
and then
no one gets
Sunday
murdered like in the TV show, The After Party, but we won't. No. We hope not.
Oh no, hopefully. I mean, God willing. But if they do, there will be dance numbers that Ben Schwartz will just tucker himself out on.
Well, I don't think I've gotten to that part yet. Renee, it is time for our Get On Up roll call. And you know how we like to do it on Fridays. We like to jazz it up. So Shabuya roll call. We got Gliss from Florida, AC from California, and Amanda from Vermont, and Deborah, California. Verona's in New Hampshire. We got Stacy from Texas. Stacy, what up? We know you can't stay long, but we're glad that you're here. We got Chandler and Sunny from Indiana, Bella from Northern Virginia, our homeboy Doug from Ohio, Ronnie from Arkansas, Nathan, and sometimes C up in Texas, Jennifer Lopez. You know Jenny from the block. She's in Nueva York. That's how you say New York in Spanish. That's right. We bilingual. The song's going off the rails. Cole from South Carolina, Hunter, Andrea from Florida, and someone's name I can't see because the window is blocking. And it's Aaron from California.
Aaron, we love you so much. We're so happy to be there. All of you, we love you so much. What a good group this morning. Get On Uppers. I'm so happy to see you. So happy to see. Now, do you share the same like love, affection, massive crush, maybe even unrequited love for Friday? Are you a big Friday person? Or are you just like, I don't know, it's the same as every other day because you work so much?
It's not that there it is. You hit the nail right there on the coffin. I do work so much. Usually I actually honestly have a ton of work on Fridays. I'm not gonna lie. How do we feel about Fridays? Get On Uppers. What is your feelings and thoughts? Renee wants to know, do you have a love affair with Fridays? Or are you just like, it's Friday, it's another day of the week? Because I don't want to assume everybody works Monday through Friday. I don't want to assume.
You don't know. You don't know.
I don't know you.
You do. That was a defense that I believed. I was like, oh, well, that's changed my opinion about it. He doesn't know me. All right, good. That fixed everything. I'm also a weekend worker.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Okay,
everybody's working to keep working on the weekends.
But the thing that I like is that there are less people checking in. There's less Slack. There's less emails. And I'm a big, let me do my own thing. So I like Friday because that means nobody's going to be checking in on me for 2 days.
But that's why I like to work in the evenings because everyone's gone. So I'll usually cut out around 2:33, ideally. Go to the gym for 2 hours, come back, everyone's gone, and I can just get my work done. And I can just get it done.
James, the casualty and the just quickness with which you tell us that you go to the gym 6 days a week, 2 hours a day does need to be paused on. No, we did. It does. We do need to pump the brakes a little bit when you say that. And have follow-up questions.
I will say, the guy I went on a date with this past weekend, super muscly guy, and I
Yeah.
have to tell you, I was like, "How long do you go to the gym?" He's like, 45 minutes to an hour." I
See,
was in
see.
rage. It became this joke where just like, yeah, he just walks by the gym and he's just like
Yeah.
whoop,
Just
and
real quick, just
not
real quick.
me,
That's
and
how it happens.
I
And
can't get
Aaron's
it.
on my side. Aaron says, absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. That is so long to be. I'm proud of you, but I want you to, if ever you were feeling like, you know what, I just want to put in a quick 30 minutes of cardio today. You
Nope,
can.
nope,
You don't
nope,
have to
nope.
say the
I
full. No,
can't.
okay.
Nope, I could
Okay.
never.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. Okay.
I'd feel
Fair.
too guilty. I'd be
Okay.
like, nothing. I didn't do anything. I would
Okay.
love to do a 1 hour workout. Ooh, oh my gosh. I would get 6 hours of my week back.
Yeah.
What a
I
dream.
know. I know you
What a
would. I
dream.
know you would. Do you enjoy it? Is it fun? Do you
I
feel
do. Yeah.
okay?
I mean, the
Okay.
first hour and a half is good. Sometimes I'm not gonna lie.
That
My
last
week
30
my
minutes,
week
tricky.
5, week 6 workouts, especially
Yeah.
leg day, can sometimes become 2.5 hours, and that last hour is pretty rough.
I
But look at this. We've got a
yes.
hi from Caroline. Hello, Caroline.
Caroline!
Hello.
So happy to see you guys. I am get on numbers. Are you guys little gym rats? Do you go? Are you 2 hours a day at
What's
the
our
gym?
workout
Yeah.
routines that we've got? We're curious. Yeah.
Well, and it's so interesting that someone else's story is just someone else's story. It is not a foretelling of how it'll go for anyone else. I kind of agree with advice. Like advice is just how it worked out for someone else. I think you have to assess the situation as your own. But as somebody who used to run at least 6 miles a day, at least, you burn out and your body breaks down. So I just want you
Yeah.
to pace yourself.
Oh, I mean, I'm taking the week off. Like, so I work
Okay.
out 6, 7 weeks, and then I take a week off, right? It is
Okay.
also possibly that I am overworking my body, and that's not why I'm seeing the results, but I couldn't imagine
Yes.
cutting out any of the exercises that I'm doing. So
Okay.
I can't.
All right.
I
Well,
can't. And look at
I
this.
think you're gonna yes.
Well, Aaron's chiming in. Yesterday, the only way to convince myself to get out of bed was to agree not to work out. So you've got to
Yes.
bargain with yourself sometimes.
Aaron, you
Okay,
and me
fair.
are on the
Oh,
same page,
and
Aaron. Yes.
but
Uh-huh.
paying for it today. Here's
Sure.
the thing.
Mhm.
There is, and maybe this is, I don't know if this is like a glass half empty thing, but everything comes with some sort of a sacrifice. So if you
That's
are
true.
going to not work out, you're sacrificing that health or your goals that you're trying to get. But if you are going to work out, you're also going to sacrifice your time, right?
Yeah,
So it's just what matters more to you, and you have to make that choice for
it's
yourself.
very, very true. Also, the notion of everything worth having was really, really hard. Really,
Mhm,
really hard. I've
mhm.
never worked harder in my career, but it worked. But it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the universe will give you these moments where it'll say it's really easy sometimes in the beginning, and that's a sign to keep going. But
Yeah.
then it's gonna be like, okay, now you're in it.
Now you gotta
So
put
how
in some
badly
work.
do you want this?
Now you gotta put
Let's
in some
go.
work.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. All right.
Renee, can you tell the Get On Uppers how they can be as cool as Aaron and Doug
I
and
would love
Caroline, who are
nothing
just chit
more.
chatting up a storm?
I
They're
would love
just, we
nothing.
love it. They're like,
Well, how I want to say something. How do I say something? Well, you're already on the right track because that is the password to if you're listening to this on your Echo device or your whatever device you were listening to it. We can't say the word because then mine will chime in and then it'll play the
Mhm.
show that I'm currently doing and it just turns into a whole thing. So
Ooh,
what
but
the
I want that to
password
happen
is.
so badly. Every time you tease us with that, I'm like, oh, I want it.
Oh, here she comes.
Mm.
So you say whatever device wakes up your device. So let's say that it is Amanda. Amanda, say, Renee, yeah, we know how to turn on our echo. And then I will see it in the chat and then we're interactive. So say, Jam, I think you could work out 1 hour a day and you would be
Or
just as stunning and glowing. Yes.
maybe
Yes.
your device is named Jennifer Hudson, and you can go,
Ooh.
Jennifer Hudson,
Uh-huh.
stay, and I'm telling you, I'm going to the gym 6 days a week for 2 hours.
I love it.
Totally your
I
call. Totally your
wonder
call.
if just now I was thinking, gosh, who would I want to always be on my side? It's Brene Brown or Oprah. But my sweet little device doesn't have the wisdom of Brene Brown and Oprah. So then I think it would put in a complex, oh, maybe they don't have all the answers, and then that would turn into a whole thing. So maybe
Mhm.
it can be something like Sweet Nana. Well, she's trying. She's trying to help you, but she doesn't know
Nana.
sometimes. But she doesn't know
Sweet
sometimes.
Nana, say juicy fruit. And we'll be like, wow, that's interesting. We're talking about Ukraine, but
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you. Love it. And good morning, Doug. We see you. Doug, we're so glad you're here. Happy Friday, Doug. Doug, I believe Doug has the 5-star. He gets the Doug has the 5-star. At least we weren't here on Monday. Doug, were you here on Monday? Because you're getting the
I bet
5-star week.
so. Yes.
I bet you were. I bet you were.
Oh, we love it. We love to see it. The best.
Let's take a look and see what are we doing today. Renee, can you run us through what's the rundown?
I would love nothing more. Oh, it's Friday. It's Friday. So we're going to do everybody's working for the weekend. What are we getting ourselves into this weekend? You guys want to know? Jam and I'll tell you what we're doing. We also will be celebrating our but first, before that, celebrity birthdays. She did a little skip, but we do have celebrity birthdays where I will be presenting. Very exciting. Little flippity flop. Little flip flop.
Yep.
You ready? Did you study last night?
I studied everybody's whose birthday might be today, might be on the quiz sheet. I stayed up all night.
We'd love to see it. We'd love to see it. And then we have our Black History Month moment, followed by some highlights of the week. And then, Jam, what do we have in the second hour?
Oh, well, we're gonna the highlights for the week will probably be in the second hour, but as well, they're here. They're happening.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point.
But we'll also be playing Fact Friday, George Washington edition. Remember George Washington? Not only was it his you do? Okay.
I sure do.
Yeah. Who's that? I don't recall. Are they on Instagram, TikTok? George Washington had a birthday on the 22nd. Would have been super old. I was perusing some George Washington stuff, and there was like, oh, there's some things about this man I don't know. And I assumed if I didn't know it, perhaps y'all didn't know as well. So we're going to quiz you. How well do you know that first president guy?
What's funny about that is it was a little arrogant, but it was also 100% true. That if Jam doesn't know, nobody's going to know.
Okay, Renee. We'll see. There were a lot of history. Okay, Renee. Well, I expect 100% from you today.
No. I absolutely will not be getting it right. I absolutely will not be getting it right. Just so we're clear. I'm just glad that you know that you are... No, you never
arrogant.
You never get anything wrong. You never get anything wrong.
You heard it first. Renee has called me arrogant. She's not wrong. She's not wrong. She has a delightful way of pointing out some of my uglier sides.
No, you were flawless and perfect in every way. You were flawless and perfect in every way. Yes.
Well, we've also got Renee's highlight reel and Forget About It Friday. I already know what I'm forgetting about. Renee's treatment of me this week. Actually, probably my treatment of Renee this week. I don't know if you were here Thursday. I was wilding.
It was delightful.
I was wilding, not working it, and it wasn't even Wednesday. But looks like Doug do we have a live weather report from Doug in Ohio? And it looks like we've got snow. Can you confirm, Doug? Do we got snow? And also Doug did say Doug tuned in for a little bit on Monday, but I think saw that we were not here and turned it off.
Doug.
The loyalty.
This Doug, is why we love him.
Love you.
I mean, we love you for a million reasons, but that is also if it's an end. You are no one, and I'm out of here. I love it. Now, I do have to say, so Doug, let me cross-check this with you, my new meteorologist. I do believe that weather patterns go from west to east. So whatever is happening in LA will probably be coming your way. We've seen it happen time and time again. It is 35 degrees in Los Angeles right now. 35. So cold. So I think maybe a bit of a cold front will be coming your way soon. 35
it's super cold. I've had my heater going all week long. It's been, I'm going, well, let's transition into what we're doing for the weekend.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Renee, hit it.
Now everybody's working for the weekend. Everybody's working for the weekend. Oh, she lost steam in the second verse. She lost a bit of steam.
All right. It's time for everybody's working for the weekend. And yes, Doug, it was Rob who was guest starring for us. Rob is you probably have seen him if you watch other shows. He guest host when other hosts are like, I can't do it today. He's our Kevin Feige. He's our head producer of all of our shows here. So you got to meet Rob behind the scenes.
Which is great. Thank goodness for Rob.
Yep. So Renee, as I was saying, so we're here. Everyone's working for the weekend. So I'm heading up north. I live in the Bay Area. I'm heading up to Yountville, which was sort of bougie wine country land.
Okay.
My gay uncles, as I call them, they're my older gay friends who I look
Uh-huh.
up to, who've got their life and stuff together.
Yes.
Getting out of the city, I gotta get out of here. I gotta clear my mind. Your boy is needing a break from
Okay. All
the
right.
city, and
You'll
so we're
be
gonna go
getting.
wine tasting. It's gonna be like 30 degrees up north, though.
That'll be
Yeah.
nice, though. That'll be cozy, and
I
that'll
don't
be okay.
know. I
We'll
don't
we'll
know.
bundle
That
you up.
groundhog! I
I
thought.
know.
Oh wait, the groundhog did warn us.
He did say. He did
He
say.
did warn us.
Yeah.
And you know what the thing about it is? The
Yeah.
groundhog did his thing. I forget. Saw a shadow, got afraid, didn't. I don't know. All I know is it was supposed to be 6 more weeks of winter. I don't
Right.
get it.
Right.
And then the next week it was hot. We were like, okay, groundhog.
Yeah.
I was running on shorts and a tank top.
Well, and in the groundhog's defense, so he was like, "Oh gosh, you seemed angry about 6 more weeks. Great, I'll give you summer." And then we weren't happy about that either. So he was like, "Fuck it, I'm out of here. I'm leaving. I'm gonna let the weather do whatever the weather wants to do."
Oh
So,
my God.
and I think if we were to put ourselves in the groundhog's paws, I don't know that he wears shoes, but if he does, so we put him in his paws. If we came out, "Hello, happy to see you," and it was met with "meow," and then you tried to fix it, and that was also met with "meow," I don't think we'd ever return, Jam. I think our feelings would be so hurt, and we would be so resentful that we'd be like, "Nope, well, you guys figure it out for yourself." How do you feel about such a thing?
Well, I think it would be time to get a new groundhog. You're replaceable. Sorry, Patati Phil. We're all replaceable. The show's got to go on.
It's
Is
very
that-
true.
yeah? No.
It's well, and I think I could probably learn from that groundhog that listen, your job is once a year, and you gotta stay in your lane. So if you try to work outside of that job,
Nope.
everybody's gonna get mad. Everybody's gonna
Get
get
on,
mad.
get on Uppers Curious before Renee. We're gonna pivot to you because I can't
Yeah.
wait to hear the
Okay.
hot goss of
Mhm,
what wedding you're going to, what pantsuit perhaps, or photo shoot for your Tinder profile. Get on Uppers. What are you up to this weekend? We want to know. Doug, I know it might be snowing. But what, do you have any plans? You're gonna watch anything, take anything in? What are you up to this weekend? We want
Doing
to
a
know.
little bit of snowing in Ohio. Well, okay, I can text you about this, but I hope that you will get to relax and enjoy and unplug in this 30-degree weather. Where are you going? How many nights do you get to stay up there?
I'm leaving as soon as I can from work.
Good.
Probably about like 2:00. Probably gonna get there. Gonna take a ferry. Gotta take the ferry to get up there.
Fine.
But I gotta come back like Sunday afternoon because I gotta get ready for the show. So, no, which is not a bad thing, but I've got to watch Captain Marvel Sunday night
Buddy,
because
I feel
Sunday,
like you've
Monday.
seen it.
No,
You
I've gotta
don't
be
have to
ready.
rewatch.
I do.
Okay.
Yes, Renee. I am in this with you. So remember, we're
Okay.
doing our Marvel movie Mondays, and for next week, we're doing Timeline Order. It's Captain Marvel. So
Captain Marvel's
rewatch,
coming, which I
so
can't
you'll be
wait.
in on the
I think
conversation.
that'll be good. I'm older than you, so I don't know that you ever did this, but something that I used to do was get a cassette tape and record movies. So you'd record the entire thing and then you would just listen to them later, which is crazy, but it also like, I don't know, it sort of evokes imagination. It's a good thing. It was fun. Can you,
Oh,
while you're on this ferry, can you just listen to Captain Marvel and that'll count as your watching of it?
I could probably actually just put on my Disney Plus on the ferry ride
Okay.
and watch it as well.
Watch
So I
it
might,
that way.
yeah.
Okay. I just want you deserve a break, and I want you to get it.
What are you getting into? Oh, look,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes,
not to cut you off. Aaron's got a hot new video game release. Aaron, we're curious. What is the
What
game?
game is that,
What is
Aaron?
it?
What's coming out?
And then Doug's already seen Captain Marvel. Watched it on Netflix with
Yeah.
their family.
Doug, what do you think? Did you like it? Was it? I mean, of course you did. You know better than to say you didn't. This.
Renee, what are you getting into?
Yes, well,
Aaron?
I wanna try to participate with Aaron. Video games that are coming out this week. Is it Destiny 2, the Witch Queen? Is it that? Is it Monarch? Is it the Monster Clown? And
Let
was
us
this
know
article?
Let us know when we're getting hot or colder.
Wait, okay, but
Renee,
wait, hold on. Wait, is
Renee
it
in
what
video
was
games.
25th? Is it Elden Ring?
You got it right, Renee.
Did I get it right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Elden Ring, and it was written by George R.R. Martin.
Look
Wow,
at
Renee.
that. Well, I Googled. I simply Googled.
Well,
That's
no,
all.
but you knew where to go. You knew what to do.
Thank
Call
you.
her a librarian. She's gonna get the information.
She knows. She will put into Google video game this week, and Google will be like, "Good Lord!" All right, Aaron, I just wanted to bond with you. Okay,
I
I'm listening.
absolutely misread everything that Doug had said, and this
Okay.
is my fault. Doug
Okay.
did not say that he had watched Captain. This is my problem for
Right.
sight reading.
Yes.
Doug did not say that he watched Captain Marvel with his family on Netflix. He said, I might watch All in the Family this weekend. Okay. I
Look
guess
at
that's
that.
wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, that sounds fun. That sounds like a good time.
Yeah,
I like
but
that.
maybe you slip in Captain Marvel because
You
you know
know,
we're going to
so
talk about it on
maybe
Monday.
a little Captain
You know,
Marvel.
join in the
Genuinely excited for
conversation.
that one. I meant to see it when it came out, and I didn't, but I meant to. So now I'm gonna go watch. I love Brie Larson. I think she's so talented. Did you see? Speaking of me not, speaking of Renee, we were not talking about this. Speaking of being terrified, did you see Room? Is it Room or
I
The
didn't.
Room?
It's been on my list. I started it. I was 5 minutes in. I was like, oh, okay. I don't think I'm in the right place for this. But you're never going to be in. It's like someone saying, oh, I'm waiting until I'm in the right mood to watch 12 Years a Slave. I hope you're never in the right mood
No, I don't want
to
you
watch
to be.
12 Years a
I don't
Slave
want you to
because
be.
that says a lot about who you are. Gotta watch the
Can't wait.
slave pick.
No.
No.
Yeah, no. It's a difficult watch, but it's phenomenal. The performances are incredible. But equally, Brie Larson in Room or The Room is the one we always make fun of, right? That was the one that had the parody, and then Room is just
But
Brie
it
Larson.
was confusing because there was the parody on The Room that came out the same year as Room. And it was confusing.
Yeah, so it got real confusing. Point
But
is,
what are you doing this weekend?
yes, I would love to say. Okay, so I am. What is it? Okay, Friday. There's stuff today. Friday. No, there's not. I'm just working today. So Friday, I'm just working. Tomorrow morning, I'm going hiking with mutual friend Stacy. I wish Stacy in the chat, but Stacy who works at Max Fun.
Stacy from Max Fun. Oh, give Stacy from Max Fun a big old hug from me.
We love her. We love her so much. So hiking with Stacy from Max Fun, and then I also. This was at this point months ago when you were going to go be in a film for a friend. Was that was in January, right?
Yeah.
I think point is, there is that interesting thing of a friend's like, hey, do you want to be my thing? And you say, yes, absolutely. And then it comes to the day that you're supposed to do it. And you're like, why did I say yes? Such a thing. But I am just a voice on a podcast. So that's easy. So I'm going to stay right here.
Okay.
And then I will help out with that audio performance. And then I've got a birthday on Saturday night and a birthday on Sunday. Everybody's birthday. A lot of Pisces in my life.
Oh my gosh.
Pisces.
Yeah. I don't have many. And somewhere along the line, watching Captain Marvel.
And again, Captain. I think, when will I do that? I bet I'll do it. You know what I because you get on uppers, you've seen this memory of mine. It is concerning. So I think I'll probably do that Sunday so that I've got at least a slightly fresh review of everything.
It's a nice little Sunday nightcap. Nice little Sunday nightcap. Well,
and then wait, when does because I binged Euphoria, but when does Euphoria actually come out?
Sunday.
Oh, okay. All right. So maybe I'll watch Euphoria and then Captain America just in case Euphoria is tricky.
Okay.
I don't want to have nightmares. Okay.
That's true. All right. Well, we're proud of you.
Thank you.
All right. It is time for celebrity birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. That's what you get on Friday, y'all. That's what you get on Friday.
Don't know that we love a slow row. I think the row is meant to be. Well, no, that looks silly too.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, you all. We had to work on our dance rehearsal
just real quick.
And I gotta kick it up a notch. They're like, why are they? Is there a funeral?
What are you doing? And what are you saying? My intent is because this is also on YouTube, and the current GIFs that they have used is usually me being like, so I'm trying, and then it's just that over and over again because it's a.
So always be moving to the show.
Just this for 2 hours, and then that's what the thumbnail looks like.
My rock right.
That was
Well,
very good.
Renee,
Okay,
you are the
yes.
quiz master
Birthdays,
for
birthdays,
today.
birthdays.
It is
Yes.
celebrity birthdays, everybody. So celebrities have birthdays just like us. We are gonna find out who was born today. Who are we celebrating? And Renee is going to quiz us. And
Yes.
I'm gonna need your help. I will not know all of these answers. I
Mm,
might know. I
I
might
think you
know some of
probably will.
them.
I think you probably
But
will.
I will leave space.
Uh-huh.
And you'll be my lifeline. So help me guess. Into your
I
device, you
love
just
it.
go say the answer is Jennifer Hudson.
Jennifer
Right.
Hudson. Who gonna be? Who gonna be? All right. First birthday up is Jamila Jamil. Jamila Jamil, 36 today. Happy
Oh,
birthday to
from
Jamila Jamil.
the Good
From
Place.
the good place, the very one. The very one. Now, you know what's interesting about this is that is the clue. So you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. But I think we're looking for two
Okay.
different ones. Okay. So she was the judge on this groundbreaking HBO show about ballroom. So what's that first one?
Should I leave space for the get on up first? I
Yes, you should.
held back so
I know
hard
you
when you
did.
said
I know you did.
get she was a judge. I was like,
For this.
I
Yes,
know it.
you did so good. I'm so
Get on
proud
up
of you.
first. I'm curious, have you seen this show? It is quite amazing. Some might even say legendary.
Yeah.
I gave it away. It's
You sure
legendary
did.
on
You sure did.
HBO
You
Max.
sure
If
did.
you're not watching it, you're doing it wrong. It's so good. It's about ball culture. It's about ball culture. It's so good. I think 2 seasons are out. So amazing. So
Amazing. Yeah,
amazing.
I gotta check it out.
So much of our pop culture comes from from ballroom culture. Madonna ripped Vogue from it. Voguing comes from that.
Oh, wow.
Yes, Queen. A lot of our lexicon comes from that. Like if you watch it, you're like, oh, this is where
Oh,
culture comes
hmm,
from.
that's cool. That's very good. That sounds right up my alley. That sounds like stuff I'd love. And so, okay, so that was the first part of the question. Second part of the question is you mentioned that she was on The Good Place, which we all loved. What was her character's name on The Good Place?
I don't know. Was it Tawny?
Jam. Jam.
What? What? What happened?
What? No, you're doing a good job. Get on uppers. Do you know? Okay, so Jam knows the answer. Do you remember?
Oh, Aaron, there it
Yes.
is.
Yes.
Yep, Aaron's got it.
You got
Tahani.
it. Sure
Tahani.
was.
Tahani.
Sure.
I understand.
That's
Aaron
very
with the
yeah.
assist. Aaron with the assist. No, I
Honestly,
got you.
Aaron, I think you got it right. I do think that that's Tahani.
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 Tahani. Yeah.
Tahani.
So good. Such a good show. I need to rewatch it.
Yeah, me too.
Rewatch it.
Because yeah, it also is so because they just like sprinkle on like philosophy, but it brings up so many quotes and theories and concepts that you're just like, I want to learn more about that. I never do, but I do love it. I love it. I think it's so smart. Okay,
So good.
You ready for the next birthday?
Give me the birthday.
Here we
Gimme,
go.
gimme, gimme.
It is Rashida Jones's birthday today. She is 46. Happy birthday to Rashida Jones,
Ooh.
46. We love her. We love her. We love her. We love her. Obviously, she was in Park and Rec, and we're
Daughter
back
of
to
Quincy
character.
Jones.
Hmm?
Did you know that? It took
No,
me
I
a long
didn't.
time to figure
That's
that out.
very
You didn't
cool.
know that?
I didn't
Her
know
dad
that.
is Quincy Jones.
That's amazing. That's
Isn't that
amazing.
wild?
That's
Yeah.
very cool.
Quincy
All
Jones,
right.
who was like
Wow.
had his finger on the pulse of American culture, but specifically Black culture and like music. He, produced. Just reading all about him in the Will Smith's book about how he got the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air going. And did you know that he made Will Smith audition? Like Will Smith was on tour. He
Right.
had Will Smith fly out to his birthday party, like in between like tour shows.
Okay.
Showed up and was like, "Hey, everybody, we're gonna have an audition," and gave Will Smith the pages to Fresh Prince of the Bel-Air, made him have an audition right there at Quincy Jones's birthday party, right then and there. And Will Smith was like, "I can't do it. I can't do it." He's like, "Okay, well, all these producers who are here," and he was saying this privately, are gonna
Okay.
like go away. So the one time that
Yeah.
they're all going to be here, it's pretty much like now or never. And he did the audition, and that's what landed it. Isn't
And
that
he got
wild?
it. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
That's I love that. I love that so much when people in power sort of trick you into stepping up. Yeah,
Yep.
I love that. That's amazing.
And he has this quote, like right then and there, he was like, "Get the contracts." He kept saying analysis paralysis. He's like, "We will not be bogged down by analysis paralysis." As soon as we just think too much. So, anyways, I know it's about Rashida Jones. I
No,
had to
but
give you
that's
some fun
amazing.
facts
But that's
about.
amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's very, very, very cool. All right. So, what was her character's name in Park and Rec? Here's your question.
Ooh, that's a great
You
question.
guys remember
Character
who
names,
Rashida Jones played in Park and Rec?
ma'am.
Smash
I
hit
will.
sitcom.
Sarah, producer Sarah, going hard on character names this week,
I
huh? Like
appreciate it. I appreciate
yeah,
it.
yeah. I know that she was often called.
Oh, Aaron's got it.
Anne. It's Anne.
Yeah.
I just was thinking. I know how I was gonna get. And how I got there before
Let's
Aaron,
hear
I know
it.
you got it right, but I didn't see
Yes.
what you had written. But I was thinking like because she's always like blank, my lovable dolphin friend. Like she always says, "Oh, you." She always gives her this huge compliments. Like, "Oh, you're my magical unicorn, and my magical unicorn friend, and you sweet delicious pup, you." That's how I was gonna get there.
That's
It's like,
amazing.
what is the name
What
before that?
what
Yeah,
could that actually
Ann
be?
Perkins. Ann Perkins.
You
That's the
remember
full
the whole
name.
thing.
Rob
Perfect.
Lowe, because he kept.
Yes.
We would say it
To Ann
fully. Ann
Perkins.
Perkins.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Literally in love with Ann Perkins. We love it.
And
Great.
Rashida Jones is half black. I mean, it's one of those
Happy
things.
birthday. Yes. Yes. Incredible. Incredible. How do we feel? Did you have any more stories about her dad that you want to share?
No. We can go to
The next
I'd
one.
be the worst person to be on like Jeopardy. Well, excuse me, guest co-host, or
Actually, yeah.
do you know? Fun fact.
I love it.
Sorry.
No, but it's important. We gotta get all those stories out there. Are you ready for the next birthday?
Give it to me.
It is Veronica Webb's birthday. She is 57 today. Happy birthday to Veronica Webb, an actor and a model. Here are the facts about Veronica Webb. She was the first Black supermodel to win an exclusive contract for a major cosmetics company.
Dang.
What was the name of the company? Do you
Ooh.
remember? So it's a
All right,
cosmetic
Aaron.
company. Yeah, let's do
Aaron,
this.
you're
Let's do
doing
this.
so well. You and I both are 2 for 2. Doug, you've been a little quiet. Where's our makeup fanatics out there? Who's been where's our America's Next Top Model fans? Tyra,
Let's do it.
J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez from New York.
I
You must
think
know.
something that is helpful here is that it's major.
Maybe
So my hint, yes.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Very close.
Or
Very close. Yes.
okay,
Very close.
second guess. Gosh, what's
Ab-
that other makeup line? Cosmopolitan.
Sure. Yeah, that's where they'd feature such a thing. Absolutely. I feel like Maybelline's close enough to give you credit. That is absolutely something you could find in a drugstore.
Wait.
So it's one of those brands. Yeah.
Fenty? No, it's too modern. I can't think of a single makeup line other than Revlon. Was it Revlon?
You nailed it. Yep. You got it. That's it. You got it.
You know how I
got
got
it.
there? I
How'd
thought
you do
about Halle Berry, and she
Mhm.
was like, "Oh, was she Maybelline or Revlon?" I think she was
That's a great
Revlon. Wasn't
question.
she like
Maybe. Let's see.
Revlon
Yes.
for me, Revlon for
Ooh, I
you?
love that.
I just love that phrase. You can. It's one of those phrases that is ruined, similar to like "Let It Go." You bust into "Let It Go." No one can ever just say like, "Oh my God, maybe she's born with it."
No. Yeah, you have to
Maybe
finish.
it's Maybelline.
Maybe it's Maybelline. And you're right. Halle Berry is. She may have done multiple ones, but she absolutely was a spokesmodel for Revlon.
Isn't
Very
that
good
weird? Marketing
memory.
is so good; it just sticks in your head like that.
It's tricky. Wait. Ba 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 ba.
I'm loving it.
Mhm.
We should just do a segment just like advertisements.
Yeah.
Which
I
is
would
just like
love that.
Michelle, I meant to bring this up yesterday. We were talking about politics and why it's important to stay involved, especially with all the well, we'll get to this in a moment. Remind me to talk about
Why it's important to get involved with politics.
Yep, and what Michelle
Yes.
Obama said about it. So we'll get to it in my news section. We'll get to my news section.
I can't wait. So yes, but hold on. I think there is a follow-up question.
Oh, snap.
Okay. Yes. So the first part is that she was the very first Black supermodel for Revlon, and the second one is she was also in this Spike Lee movie in 1991, starring Wesley Snipes. Do you remember what movie? So 1991 with Wesley Snipes. It's a Spike Lee film. Do we know what movie that would have been?
1991 Spike Lee movie. Oh,
You know it. You know it.
oh gosh. I think it's it can't be.
It's
Was Wesley Snipes in Jungle Fever?
You sure was. Stop guessing.
Oh.
You got
Okay.
it.
All
So
right, there it is.
good.
I
So
watched it
good.
recently and I was like, oh, this is definitely a movie made in the 90s. Do the Right Thing, she's not. Do the Right Thing is amazing. No notes.
No. Okay. Great.
But Jungle Fever, first of all, the terminology is not great.
Tricky.
And
It's tricky.
yeah.
Yeah. So happy birthday to Veronica Webb for Supermodel.
Happy
Jungle Fever.
birthday.
All right, you ready for the next one? Are you
Yes.
ready? Are you ready?
Yes.
It's
Yes,
Sean
yes.
Austin's birthday. Happy birthday to Sean Austin. Sean Austin is 51 today.
Aw, our little
birthday to
hobbit.
Sean
Little
Austin.
Hobbity hobbit.
Love him. The Rudy himself. Oh gosh, did I just give it away? Shoot. I didn't look. I didn't look to see what it was. Sarah, if I did, I'm so sorry. No, I didn't.
Is it Rudy?
No, it's not. Rudy's not one of the questions. But I love him. Love him. He is when they're just like, what's your type? I'll say Sean Austin.
Oh.
He's so cute.
Well, you're not going to want to watch Stranger Things then. He is in it,
Wait,
but it'll
me?
break your heart.
You bad guy? I will not be watching Stranger
No.
Things.
Oh, he gets like the Gorgon, I think it's called a Gorgon. Yes, it's tragic. And he's such a nice guy in it. He's just like, I'm Sean Astin. I'm so nice. And then towards the end of the season, doesn't make it. And he's so heroic too. He's like, get out of here.
Will not be watching. I can't not have it. Stranger Things jumped out at me. I won't do it. I will not do it. If you jump out at me, we're
might be
done.
able to handle Ozark. I think you can. It's not got jump scares.
Jumpy out.
It's not jumpy. It's just the tension is high.
Okay.
I feel like if you can handle Euphoria, then you'll probably be able to handle Ozark. There is not a single jump scare.
I love it. Did you watch? Well, you already told me that Ozark is. If Breaking Bad is a 7, then Ozark is 11. Did you watch Better Call Saul? I feel Better Call Saul is more suspenseful than Breaking Bad.
Oh, I didn't. I haven't. No, I didn't call him. Call me maybe.
Very funny. Okay, 2 questions for this as well. Are you ready? What was Lord of the Rings? You said it, but what was the name of the character? Another character name. What was the name of the character in Lord of the Rings?
You went hard on these character names.
I love it. Sarah, it's great.
Samwise Gamgee.
Very nice. Very. Are you a Lord of the Rings kid?
I am a nerd. I don't know how many times I have to tell you this. I am a nerd. The buck does stop, and I might lose some of you here. I don't mean to yuck anyone's yum.
Fair.
But the buck does stop with like any sort of Dungeons and Dragons or Magic the Gathering sort of thing. Any sort of like role-playing, LARPing sort of thing. The buck stops there.
I love it.
But sci-fi, fantasy, super. I'm there, and so I'll give it to me.
I did the same. Well, because a bit ago I said if it has a dragon, I'm out, and so I'm sorry about that. Because aren't there dragons in Lord of the Rings?
Kind of. Like not prominent. More so prominent in The Hobbit because you've got Smaug, voiced by Benedict Cumberbatch.
Great.
But in the first one, mainly just the is it the Death Eaters? No, that's Harry Potter. But the like ring wraiths ride these sort of dragons. Those are kind of the only ones.
It's more than fair.
They're all dead.
Genuinely more than fair. And I learned something recently that I thought that, dragons is such a perfect litmus test. If it has dragon, I'm out. But if it's an animated dragon, I'm back in. So how to train your dragon.
Pete's
dragon. Yeah. Then I'm in.
Okay. Because you want your dragons cute. You like a cute dragon.
I like them cute and friendly.
Yes. What was that one? Rhea the Last Dragon? Did you check that one out?
That was great. I love that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You like a cute dragon. Get on uppers. Where do we stand with dragons? Do we like them? More dragons? Less dragons? I got news for you because there's a HBO show called House of the Dragon coming out. I don't know, Renee, if you're gonna.
We'll see if I get there.
Those dragons, I don't think they'll be cute. It's a Game of Thrones prequel.
Yeah. I only watched the last season of Game of Thrones and I had the time of my life. It was great.
Said no one ever.
But my roommate at the time was watching.
I love Renee so much because Renee will just kind of be like, "Well, what's everyone talking about? What's everyone? Oh, okay, I'll take it. Oh, cool." And then
All right,
like that's
sounds good.
not
I get it.
fanatical about it. Gets in, gets out. Doug, you're not alone. Look at this, Doug.
Yeah. What do
Not
you think,
crazy
Doug?
about dragons. Renee, you're
Wow,
not.
Doug. Thank
You're
you. Me
not
and
that.
Doug,
You're not wildin'. You're not
best
wildin' at
friends.
all.
Best
Doug might even
friends.
say you're working it.
Working
Yeah.
it. Thank you so much. No, one more question. I kind of like these two-part questions, Sarah. This is great because if you get one, then you can get stumped on the other, but you're going to get this. He also starred in this 80s classic movie about treasure.
Oh. I didn't realize he was in this movie. Okay. Well,
You're
done and
very
done.
cute.
80s treasure. Boom, pop, beep. What do we think? Get on uppers. Do we think what is it? It can't be the Moonies, but maybe it's the Goonies.
You nailed it. Great. Goonies. He's in
Oh, is it the Goonies?
He's
You know
in
what?
Goonies. He's in Goonies.
I've never finished the Goonies before. Too scary. I was a
Me
kid.
neither.
I was too
Yeah.
scared. Oh,
No, that
really?
makes sense.
I actually never knew until I was watching like a VH1 I Love the 80s and they were
Right.
reviewing it. Yes, Doug, the Goonies, we got it together.
Love it.
Sorry I didn't wait for you. I'm a monster.
No. You got it.
Like the monster and the Goonies. I never realized they got to treasure. I had no idea the movie was about a treasure hunt. I never made
Look
it
at
that far.
You just saw the
It was
beginning of it. Yeah.
the beginning, the woman, and those
Mhm.
people are chasing after the kids. I was like, this is too much for me.
It's weird. It's weird.
I'm
Yeah,
3
I've watched
now.
bits and pieces of Goonies. I don't think I've ever watched all the Goonies, but I don't want to.
Never realized they find a pirate ship. They
Can you
find a
believe it?
pirate ship.
I know. A whole treasure. What I do like is that I think that it came out in the 80s, so I feel like we can give it. And then they all make it their way back. When they get back to shore, that is like it's Morro Bay, right? Along the California coast. So anytime I see that big
Mhm.
rock, I was like, no, it's in the Goonies. And then depending on who I'm with, I act like an expert.
Seen as much of the movie as I have.
Okay, I've got one more for you, and you are absolutely going to know the answer to this. So I think it's fine.
Dang, we had a lot of birthdays today. Okay.
But I'm feeling bashful about it because I'm not quite sure the pronunciation of the last name. So I'm going to try, and then I'm going to get yelled at, and it's going to be okay. We're going to live, and we're going to learn. It is Alexis Denisov.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Denisov?
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
an E. Denisov.
I got some.
Alexis Denisov. Oh, you
Yeah.
got some tea about
Mhm.
Alexis? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. All right. We'll see if he deserves to be celebrated or not. He's 56. He's an actor, and he met his wife on the set of our favorite vampire TV show starring Sarah Michelle Gellar. What was the name of that TV show?
Oh, Buffy the Vampire
There you
Slayer.
go. All right, you got that. And then, what's
Sorry,
wrong with Alexis?
no. I was
Okay.
getting him confused with somebody else from a TV show called Dark Angel, which
Okay.
came out around the same time, starring Jessica Alba. Alexis is fine. Alexis Denisov is fine. He played Wesley, came in season 3. Doug, that's right. Doug, are you a Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan? I'm just curious. Are you a Slayer? Are you a Slayer? Maybe
like
you
it.
just knew from the trivia, but he was also in the spinoff Angel. He's also in the
Okay.
spinoff Angel. That's where
Great.
he ended up going to,
Great,
and he
great,
goes
great.
on a dark path on Angel. Let me
Okay.
tell you,
Okay.
it's not the
I
Wesley of your mama's days.
can't wait to hear it all. And I do think that is a fun way to celebrate somebody's birthday. It's like, happy birthday. You're fine. You're fine.
Sorry, I thought you were
No,
somebody else.
it was somebody
It's not
else.
you.
Yeah, I can't.
It was somebody else.
But I want
yeah.
who do you think it was, and what did you think happened?
I actually don't remember the name of that guy. It just
Okay.
turns out he wasn't a good
Not
guy.
a good guy.
He was a
Okay.
bad guy.
Okay.
But look at this. Doug says, didn't really watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but know some people who were into it. Yeah, you do. Me.
The best of the
Renee, I'm
best.
surprised
Yes.
you didn't get into Buffy. Or was it too scary for
No.
you?
No, it's too fantastical, which is so
Not a
incredibly good.
word.
Like, I also didn't celebrate any art at all except for musical theater. There just wasn't a lot of culture in my house growing up. So I lived in Colorado Springs. So, I had to find what I could find. Yeah.
If it wasn't a musical, you're like, doesn't exist to me.
I can't.
It was
I didn't know
all
about it.
musicals all day.
And I was only inspired to look up. Well, no, that's not fair because we read A Wrinkle in Time in 3rd grade, and I was like, okay, I hate this. Uh,
Really? Oh my
hate it.
god, I love A
Yeah,
Wrinkle in Time.
I
Oh,
know.
I
So I
made a
think our just
diorama. I made a
believe it.
diorama of A Wrinkle in Time out of Play-Doh,
I
and it was
believe
one
it.
of those projects I brought to school. Guess we're dipping into Flashback Friday a little
I
bit
think we
early.
should. Yes.
Um, it's one of those projects I brought to school, and the diorama I didn't make it. It kept falling apart.
Oh,
Did you ever have
no.
those like school projects as a kid
Of course.
that were
Yeah.
fine at home, and then you brought it to
And it
school,
just
and it was just a
fell right
mess?
apart. I made a Lego Eiffel Tower, and it fell apart because I dropped it. So that did have something to do with the falling apart of it. But
Yep.
it was so hard to keep those projects together. So hard to keep those projects together. Yeah.
Welcome to Michael. It's their first time on our show. Welcome, welcome. We're dipping into Flashback Friday a little bit early. We have two questions. The first one is, did you ever have a school project that you made at home, brought to school, and it just didn't work out or just turned out terrible? Like in your mind, you're like, this is gonna be so great, so amazing, or a science project that was just lame. Like I feel like I always had really lame science projects. Sound off in the comments. We would love to hear you. Ross, welcome as well. You're watching Get On Up. We are doing Flashback Friday. The question is, did you ever have a school project that just didn't turn out well, or it was nice at home and then you brought it to school and
Did you?
it was just a
I
mess?
ruined it.
What about you,
I got
Renee?
ruined. Yeah,
Anything
gosh. Well,
comes to
back to
mind?
science projects, I did the study of music and plants. Uh,
Oh, that one.
and then I was not consistent with my watering. So my hypothesis was a bit off because in that hypothesis, I did hypothesize that I'd remember to water them. So that was, I just brought in a bunch of dirt. So pretty bad. And then there was something with jumping rope that I did, some sort of cardiovascular thing that was bad. So yeah, science projects are bad. Yeah, the only thing I can remember is I dropped the Eiffel Tower Lego thing.
Yeah.
Boop,
Yeah.
boop, boop, boop. Yeah, yeah.
Well, it
You
looks
get it.
like Doug has some. Doug had an invention one time. Had to do at a coffee cans, and the washer and the screws came out of it.
Wow.
No. Oh, but it
Oh,
actually turned out
no.
pretty good though. Okay.
Okay.
And then looks like in school, your principal in school was kind enough to give you materials and helped you do it. Well, what a good
That's a great
principal.
what a
Helped you
good
do it
principle.
out.
It's incredible.
I always waited till the last minute to do my science projects. Like one
Sure.
time it was like, which batteries are better, Energizer or Duracell? And I had like a toy boat or something that I was just
Yeah.
gonna run in the bathtub, and those batteries just kept running. I was like, oh God, I gotta turn this in soon. I should have just started. So I was just running it all weekend, or like I think maybe just like the night. It was like Sunday. I was like, oh, I gotta do my science project.
I don't know which
Oh, I
one. I
gotta.
don't know which one.
And
Yeah,
poor parents had to go get the science boards. Like it.
of
Oh
course.
God,
Yeah, we
last
loved it.
minute.
Oh,
I had
yeah.
to put it together. I
Yeah.
am so glad I
The
never had to do that.
funniest. I love it so much. I also love that you saying that made me think like, "Oh god, we were just product testers for companies as kids." That's what we're just like, "Which
Pretty
one? Nobody
much.
paid us for this."
Oh God.
Hilarious. Hilarious.
Well, our second follow-up flashback question is Flashback Friday.
Mhm.
When you were a kid, what did you do to play pretend? Did you play pretend? How did you play pretend? Who did you imagine you were? What sort of pretend did you play when you were a kid? Sound off in the comments. So curious. How did you play pretend when you were a kid?
Let us
Renee,
know.
do you want to start us off?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's as I become an adult, there's definitely I think societal expectations that you face that you're like, I don't want to get married, maybe. And I absolutely do not want kids. And so in therapy, they'll like unpack. I never, ever, ever once did I play house. Ever. I always what's interesting is that I played radio show constantly, constantly. And I
Oh,
played office. But what was interesting about The Office is there was always a deadline that we were late and we were gonna miss the deadline. Just,
where
like,
did that come from? Did your
feverishly.
parents work a lot, or
No,
you saw 9 to 5 and you're like, that's what I
probably,
want.
probably.
That's what
You
I
know what I
want.
think it was? I think you'll appreciate this, is I saw Superman and I did miss the point, because I was just like, "Lois Lane has a deadline. She needs a story." And so I'd sort of let go of the superhero part and just focus on,
Yeah.
"We got the
Oh my
papers coming
gosh.
out
I
tomorrow."
kind of love that because that's kind of very Lois Lane. Like the one thing about Lois Lane is such a she's just a bad mamma jamma. Like she's like here to do her job, and I love that you zeroed and you're like, yeah, the lowest part.
Right.
Like let's just do what's lowest goal. I want
Yeah.
if there was a lowest comic, you would have. She's got to get her deadline.
This is what we gotta get. But it is as we start talking about like representation in our media, even like white girls who are in stuff all the time. But I would only relate to the brown-haired nerd. Isn't that funny? Like you do,
Yeah,
you need to see yourself in movies so that you can believe
yeah.
that you too can one day be a struggling journalist.
Which again, it also makes sense. Like blonde Buffy comes, twirling around with her steak.
Get out of here. Get
Get
out of
outta
here. Who needs
here.
you? Who needs you?
God, that makes sense. That makes sense.
How about
Well,
you, my puppy? What'd you do as a kiddo?
Well, I do want to. I like Doug chimed in. Him and his cousin used to play parachute with the sheets, so that's fun.
That's very
Sounds
fun.
also dangerous. Were you jumping? Doug, follow-up question. Were you jumping off? It's not a real parachute. Were you jumping off places, or were you just like running around? I'm so curious. Hopefully, it was safe. Well, clearly, you're still here.
Yeah, you're still here. It was safe.
Hugo, welcome. We are playing Flashback Friday. Not playing, talking about it. But speaking of playing, when you were a kid, what did you play? Did you play anything as a kid? Did you? We want to know. When I was a kid, Doug, no, we would run with the night. Okay, we would run with the parachute. Okay,
yeah, that's perfect. And then it's just behind you, and that feels fun. Doug, you did it right. Perfect. Maybe jump off a couch every now and again. But yeah, that seems like a good time.
Perfect.
For
okay.
You, what would you do?
I used to play Power Rangers.
Yeah.
It was a Power Ranger. I was kicking around. I also me and my best friend Deontay would be Power Rangers. It would also be X-Men. And here's the funny thing though, I was always the Pink Ranger. That's the Ranger that I was. I was always the Pink Ranger. And he was the Yellow Ranger. And when we play X-Men, I was Rogue and he was Storm. We also used to run around playing Jurassic Park. I was obsessed with Jurassic Park, running from like dinosaurs, and we'd also reenact the scene from The Lion King. It was a lot of running and kicking. That's what my childhood.
This makes so much sense. I love this. And it absolutely makes sense that you would fall in love with Marvel afterwards.
All I wanted to do was be like a superhero. That's all I wanted to do. But I will say, I think I told you this, me and him used to also play radio DJ at a karaoke machine. We would record ourselves playing radio DJ and we would sing the songs. We'd be like, next it's the Spice Girls. Yeah. If you want to be my lover. You know, just two gays could be kids. I mean, again, that was what would be coming up, would be the Spice Girls on our radio show.
Isn't that funny? But I think it's so fun because we did have access to those tapes. And it was like weirdly easy to make a mixtape and to like record yourself and then put the thing in. Like I would argue that sometimes those cassette tapes are easier than the current audio platform that I use now.
Very true. Yeah.
But it was the most fun. And then this is well past the time that it was supposed to. But I used to make my friends like the very first podcast. So it would be a 60-minute tape front and back, and I'd be like, well, hello. I cannot believe that this happened. And then I would just like talk to them, and then I'd play stories, and then I would play music. And it was, if those tapes ever get out, I am in deep trouble.
They say that whatever you played as a kid, it gave hints to what you're supposed to be doing as an adult.
I know.
It's the universe is telling you exactly what it is. So, Doug, maybe you're supposed to be like a champion skydiver or parachuter. Yeah. Or are there any things that you're doing now that are sort of, similar? Like Oprah used to play teacher when she was a kid. And she's the world's teacher, so she's constantly doing.
Isn't that funny?
I do love Doug's story that Doug would say that my uncle and I they would say put the sheet back, but he wouldn't, and that the uncle would tell him to put it back, and he wouldn't do it. They're like, these sheets are not for parachuting, Doug, and you're like,
yes, they are.
I've got to jump.
Yes, they are. Jump. And then I love an aunt being like, you're just being a kid. What are sheets for if not to parachute? We like the aunt. And I bet the uncle regrets it. He's like, I should have let him keep playing. I should have let him keep playing. So with yours, with the with Jurassic Park and the Power Rangers, I mean, I think it speaks to Marvel, but I also think it speaks to your activism a little bit of just like,
I think just being an actor, like, getting to play pretend, like that was, and getting like my dream roles are to be like an action guy, and I also said like all of my school projects, if I could, would be me hosting something. Even if it was like, it's going to be a project about prime numbers. And I did a Jerry Springer, like the prime numbers were arguing with like the odd numbers.
Damn,
And
that is
they were
so
like, you're
smart.
not a prime number. You're not a prime number. Do you
That
know what
is
2 times 2 is?
so
How many times can
smart.
you go into 9? And they'd start fighting.
That is
Saying facts about
hilarious.
them.
How big of an A+ did you get on that? That had I bet
It
it took
was,
over the entire report card.
it
Just A+.
was quite a hit. It
Yep,
was quite a
of course
hit.
it was,
Yeah.
'cause it's brilliant. That's so smart. I loved it. I loved
Well,
it.
there we are. Well, Renee, before we get to the halfway point of the show, I do want to squeeze in our Black History Month moment
Squeeze
for
it
the
in. You
day.
take your time for this. We never
Really
wanna squeeze
quick.
these in. Take your time.
Okay, well, it's not going to take. Well, today it's Dick Gregory. Did you know about Dick Gregory? I did not know about Dick Gregory. Dick Gregory comes from the comedy world. NPR did a piece about him. He passed away at 84 in 2017. But some fun stuff about Dick Gregory. So I found out about him. So I just finished watching. Welcome, Alex. We're just doing our Black History Month moment. We're talking about Dick Gregory, comedian Dick Gregory. I found about him through watching the We Need to Talk About Bill Cosby documentary. And Dick Gregory really paved the way for Black comics and really paved the way for, and I highly recommend this documentary. The conversation is so much that it's really it's so well balanced. I feel it really is we need to talk about Bill Cosby, the conversation,
Right.
because he was poised as America's dad. And so there is a bit of a trauma that has collectively happened to everybody.
Right.
And it might affect different communities in a different way, whether, the Black community or even just, Black women or women in general, or just us as humans. And so it's 4 parts. Highly recommend it. It's also a lot of Black history as well. Things that I had missed out on, what all the amazing things that Bill Cosby had also done. And again, the documentary does not shy away from, believe survivors, right? We need to believe all of these voices. Oh, Doug, so glad you like Flashback Friday. We do too. It's fun to go down.
Yay! Yeah, Doug, and you were great at it.
Yeah. All right. So Dick Gregory, I was born October 12th, 1932 in St. Louis. As I said, he, was an American comedian, civil rights activist, spokesperson for health issues, became nationally recognized in the 1960s for his brand of comedy. He would actually really attack racial prejudices and would do it through satire and directly to white audiences. And this was nobody did this, right? You could be lynched or murdered, and he was just this rising voice in the civil rights movement. And so, like I said, he came up in poverty. He came up in St. Louis. Was born in poverty. Had a knack for comedy. In 1951, he had a sports scholarship to Southern Illinois University. He was named in 1953 the university's outstanding student athlete. But that same year, he left college to join the U.S. Army. And he would host and perform comedy routines in military shows. So he was just like, funny, we're at war, but I'm gonna make you laugh.
I love this. I love this.
And he had when he came back, he sought entrance into the National Comedy Circuit in in Chicago. His breakthrough came in 1961 when he did a performance at the Chicago Playboy Club, turned into a 6-week stint that earned him a profile in Time magazine and a television appearance on the Jack Paar Show.
Oh, wow.
And they also highlight this too in the Bill Cosby documentary. The Playboy Club, actually, Hugh Hefner was doing some really revolutionary stuff. He was wanting to help the civil rights movement, and part of that would be he would help to break down barriers. He'd bring in, Black entertainers, Black comics. He would hire, Black, bunnies in the Playboy Club. Like he was doing, again, nothing is perfect. There was, definitely not great things happening at the Playboy Club too, but it's also breaking down barriers.
Right.
In his numerous subsequent TV, nightclub, and concert routines, he targeted poverty, segregation, and racial discrimination, like using comedy to talk about this sort of stuff. And no one was really doing that. Whereas now, it's pretty prevalent, and some of, my favorite comics are doing it in a very smart way. It's not that you can't talk about these things. It's just how you do it and who says what things, right?
Right.
Like what is in your tree to be able to pick from your
Right.
comedy fruit tree.
Mhm.
Don't go picking in someone else's comedy fruit
No,
tree.
no.
Pick your apples.
Like
Pick your
yours.
apples.
Yes.
He was active in the civil rights movement, participated in numerous demonstrations, and was arrested for civil disobedience several times. In 1963, he was jailed in Birmingham, Alabama. His activism spurred him a run for mayor of Chicago in 1966, and he ran for president of the United States in 1968.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
Yeah.
How did that go?
I mean, he didn't win. He
Fair.
garnered some votes. I think he had like 40,000 votes or something like that. But
Right.
yeah.
That's
Um,
absolutely incredible.
yeah. And in the early 1970s, he abandoned comedy to focus on political interests, which widened from, talking about race relations, also like violence, world hunger, capital punishment, drug abuse, and poor healthcare. He actually he was doing hunger fasts. So he was starting to get a lot of attention for this. And at the time, he became a vegetarian. He was also a marathon runner, an expert on nutrition. He actually was advising Michael Jackson throughout the 80s on different health practices and health
Look at
nutrition.
that. Okay.
He had this product called the Bahamine diet, which was what he built his enterprise on
Right.
through a company that targeted the lower life expectancy of Black Americans, which he attributed to poor nutrition. So that is
Wow.
Dick Gregory. I have a little anecdote again, like what was so wild about him is that, back in this time, usually Black comedians had to do like a song and dance before they could tell jokes. And he didn't do any of that. He just told jokes. Like Sammy Davis had to like sing and dance and then could tell jokes. But he just told it how it is and told these, white folks right to their face about, racism, and they laughed. And through comedy, you're able to have a laugh. It's disarming. And then they can be like, oh, yeah, you're right. It is like that. Oh wow. I never thought about that. That is racist. You're right. Okay. All right.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
absolutely incredible. Well, and I think it's the tricky part because you want to be able to just like wag your finger and lecture people and be like, be better. But because everybody has their guards up in their defenses, you have to like just come around this way and be like, what if I tell you a joke? And then that way you can hear it and you can accept it. Now, Jam, while you were telling that story, we did get some breaking news from producer Sarah. It's very, very exciting. I would love to tell you about it, but I also would love you to see, if you take a little look in the chat, that we knew that Biden was going to announce his nomination for the Supreme Court, and he has done it. It is very exciting. Take a look at that. Take a look at that little tweet because you did such a beautiful presentation for us. I was feeling that maybe you'd be excited to share such a thing.
This is exciting. Yes, we do. Look at this. We actually have breaking news right here, on Minority Corner. Renee, take us through this. Take us through this.
Yeah, I would love to. Okay. So as you had presented this, that we were going through a myriad of amazing candidates to be part of the Supreme Court justice, the new nomination. And looks like Judge can help me out with that name, that first name.
I think it's Ketanji Brown Jackson, who we mentioned, we flagged. We had named one of the 8, 10, 12 people could have been.
So but it's really, really, really exciting and good. And I think that this is news that we definitely needed at the end of the week. And it's just exciting to go back, and maybe next week I can do like a deep dive and a little bit into the history of all the work that she's done and the work that she likely is about to do.
That'd be fun. Let's get to know her. Let's get to know her. I'm excited. I can't wait for that little class photo. She'll be up there. Good.
Beautiful,
not just you.
Beautiful. And kudos to Sarah, our producer, for letting us know about that. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Dang.
Appreciate you.
Breaking news. Speaking of news, Renee, can you take us into the news? I'm gonna give you the spotlight.
I would love nothing more. All right, so it is time for highlights from the week. It has been a tricky week, you guys. It's been real real tricky. So I think I would like to present some like this is good. Especially in the light of what's going on in Texas. So there is, if you're following Jeopardy right now, there is a contestant named Amy Schneider, and she is killing it. She's also transgender, and she just got engaged, which is very, very exciting. So there's Amy, looking so good. Some facts about Amy is that she is the first woman to surpass $1 million in earnings. And she's also the first transgender contestant to be on Jeopardy's Tournament of Champions. So she's killing it. She's representing, and she just had a little Instagram post, a little tweet that says that she has an announcement that her girlfriend and her have gotten engaged, which is so exciting and so wonderful. And for people who've been watching Jeopardy, you've heard stories about her girlfriend. Her girlfriend's name is Genevieve, throughout the show, that they have spent, because of quarantine, a lot of time together. And then when she had to fly out to be on Jeopardy, they had to spend time apart. But her girlfriend gave her a necklace, and she wears the necklace on every appearance so that she feels like Genevieve is close to her. Just this really beautiful, wonderful love story. And especially for my sweethearts in Texas who are looking at the news and going, oh God, if we get you out of Texas, there is hope. And hopefully there's hope in Texas if we can change some things around. But I love some stories of just like, you be you and great things will happen. Isn't that cool?
Oh, how exciting. That is so great.
Yeah.
There's Renee bringing us the good news. And here comes Storm Cloud James
No, it's
to rain on your parade.
Tricky week to find good news. It is a tricky week to find good news.
You're literally gonna come and rain on your parade here. I just wanted to actually touch on something we were talking about last week. I mean, not last week, yesterday.
Yes.
Because I have a little bit more information. I kind of glossed over it, and I just want to make sure that we have and there's more information that came out that I thought was really interesting. So yesterday we were talking about the Supreme Court is going to take up that case in Colorado where a web designer said that she is opposed to making wedding websites for same-sex couples, right? Remember that story that's coming up? And it's, I think it's like, yes. So the name of her company is like 303 Creative. And essentially, I didn't realize this. The case is that she wants to post language to her website that says like, this is against my beliefs. And because of the current laws, she's not able to. It's also interesting to note that like, she doesn't even make wedding websites. She's never made a single wedding website. She actually makes usually websites for Republican politicians. But again, they're just looking for a case to put before this Supreme Court. They're trying. There's going to be so many cases that are going before this Supreme Court because it's like they're like, let's get these laws in. Let's get these decisions in while we have this court that is looking at things in a certain viewpoint. So I just wanted to highlight those things as something that happened this week, this story that I just hadn't realized like what was actually happening. One, she's never made a wedding website. And the whole entire thing is that she hasn't even posted something that says I will not make websites for, LGBT people. She wants to and feels like she can't because of the way the current laws are. So she wants to be a bigot and is upset because the law is saying that she can't be a bigot. And she's like, it's my right to be a bigot. Let me do this.
God, man, that you just I want to have more articulate commentary about that, but that's awful.
I just wanted to give an update.
No. And I think it's good. I think it's good to give that update. But to go back to, so did a couple approach her to make a website?
Nobody asked her to make a website. So no one's asked her to make a website. So really, honestly, Renee, it feels like they are fabricating a case.
Yeah.
They're just looking for something to bring to the table to the Supreme Court to that way they can get some sort of passing. So that way other businesses can be discriminatory if they want and say it's in line with their beliefs. Again, as we talked about yesterday, like where's the line? Because someone could say, well, it is my belief that I don't believe in interracial marriages. So I don't want to do anything for an interracial couple, right? So it starts to become a slippery slope for allowing sort of bigotry, I would say. You
Yeah.
know, so
I just can't, because I think, Oprah and Brene Brown would ask us to like have compassion and look at people and try to like, but there are just some things that you're just like, God, I can't even get to what you're thinking there.
I
I
think it's
can't.
just funny
Yeah.
because it's like there hasn't even been, no one's asked her to make a
Nobody's
website,
asked for that. Nobody even
and
cared.
she doesn't even make wedding websites.
That's so bizarre. That's so bizarre and
She's
wild.
completely made this up.
I
Yeah, and it's
don't
going all the way
understand
to the
what's
Supreme
happening
Court.
there. I don't
Our
understand what's
tax
happening
dollars
there.
at
Yeah.
work, they've made
Yeah.
up a situation. So
That's
yeah,
wild. Well,
there
thank
you
you for
go.
reporting it. And I will work to, I don't want to understand, so I agree. I want to understand so that I have a better, because like meeting hate with hate doesn't work. But
No.
how do I even start to approach? That's crazy. That's just me having a little thought experiment of just like, what do we need to say to her to see it differently? But yeah, all right. Well, I hate
Yeah,
that story.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but it happens.
Fair,
It happens all the
fair.
time. It
Yeah,
happens all
it
the
does.
time.
It
Yeah.
does. Well, Tom, welcome. We are talking about some news that happened during this week, highlights from the week,
Sure
the
are.
news edition. Renee, what else do you have for
Yes, I
us?
would love to tell you. Well, and again, minor sweet stories. So we're gonna do we're pendulum you guys all over the place. So there is a very, very sweet TikTok star named Maya Pole. And Maya, as a kid, was wildly athletic, so talented, running around, jumping, playing all the superhero stuff. But in high school, started to slow down a little bit. Turns out she had a degenerative disease that has now put her in a wheelchair, which sucks because she loved dancing. She became a TikTok star of doing dance moves, and the dancing has just like skyrocketed, and everybody loves it. So she's like, "Well, now I have this platform. What can I do with it? How can I do good other than dance?" So she's using her platform to sort of very gently, again, because we've been told that nobody loves a lecture, but sort of gently showcase how difficult it is for her to get around in the world. So when there are stairs and there's no wheelchair ramp, when there is, I have to get on a bus and do it, and sort of showcase the things that are not abiding by the access codes that we currently have. And it's getting a lot of press around it and a lot of help. And it's just, but it's done in a, God, I don't want the message to be, well, if you want something to change, you got to be real nice about it and find a way to get people to listen. I don't want that to be the message. But I guess if we work under the assumption that, well, but a little bit, yeah, if you just scream at people, it's hard to get your
Uh,
message across. Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
doing it
I
well.
know you didn't, I know
Yeah.
you didn't finish this movie, but
Yeah.
that's essentially the part of the hypothesis in Don't Look Up.
Interesting. Yeah.
Is that like
Interesting.
people are there's the one scientist who's like, everybody, like we're gonna die. There's
Yeah.
a comet hailing towards us. We have to do something about it. And people are like,
Right. I
that's
don't
too
know.
much.
Yeah.
But like when Ariana Grande sings a song about it, everyone's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, we got to do
Okay.
something. Or
Yeah.
the other host who's more funny and the other scientist who's more funny and charming and
Yeah.
like jokey about it, people sort of listen to.
Yeah. It's
It's part of marketing.
crazy. Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing too. This is the point I was gonna make earlier is that, you know, it's just so interesting. Like Michelle Obama said this is that like politics doesn't have a marketing team,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And you talk about all these products that we know and we love, you know, so much. Like I remember, maybe it's Maybelline, you
Yeah.
know, she's born
You
with it.
sure
Maybe it's
do.
Maybelline. Like,
Yep.
you remember that because there's millions and billions of dollars that pours into marketing. So we buy and love these products. If only that same sort of money and attention could be put towards like social justice issues or
Mhm.
climate or environment or animals or human beings and equality or, you know, political stuff. And that same sort of money is not necessarily, you know, poured in with that same sort of glitz and glam. So we kind
Right.
of have to like, we have to do it ourselves. And so here it
Yes.
is. Remember you were just saying how social media is terrible? It looks like this young woman.
Turns out it's great. Turns out it's great. That was a very naive thing for me to say, that a lot of good things are happening on social media. A lot of good things. I just like it when it's utilized for good.
I know, and that's the thing is it can go either way. But
Yeah.
like with any tool, we as human beings have to use our common sense knowledge to try to do good. Try to
Yes.
do good. That's one of
Yes.
my biggest mottos. I learned this oddly enough from Tim Kaine, who was Senator Tim Kaine,
Okay.
who was running for he was he was on Hillary Clinton's ticket,
Uh-huh.
but he had said, and it's weird, it stuck with me. And they asked him in the VP debate, like, what was one of his mottos or things that he learned as a kid,
Right.
and it was like, try to do as much good as you can each and every day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's such a simple thing, but it has really stuck with me. Try to do as much good as you can every day.
That's tricky to remember, but yes, that's very, very good.
And if we were to use our social media like that, just think what a difference that would be.
What a difference it would be. I know. So kudos to the people who are doing it well. I am not among you, but I am proud of you.
I think you are. I think you do well.
Are you kidding? No, I run from the hills from social media. Absolutely not. Ooh, it's scary in there.
And then we make you go every week onto social media to find accidental thirst traps.
Thank you. That part I like. That's fun.
Okay, good. All right. I have one more. It's a pop cultural story. Sarah, it's the one that I sent you, the link that I sent you about Megan Thee Stallion. So this is a tweet, and so let me set this up for you of what is going on. I don't know if you all are aware of this. So Megan Thee Stallion used to date Tory Lanez, rapper Tory Lanez. Right now they're heading to court because in 2020, essentially, Megan Thee Stallion is claiming, and I absolutely believe her. I was just making this up. He shot her. He shot her in the foot.
Good Lord.
And he's like, no, I didn't. No. So there's a whole entire like court case.
Yeah.
And again, because of also just sexism, and Megan is such she owns her power. She owns who she is. And people just sometimes can't handle that from women, especially Black women. They're just like, oh, no. Who does she think she is? So Twitter and social media has just been kind of not fair to her in this case, and saying she's making this up. She's being dramatic. Maybe she shot herself, or maybe somebody else did it or whatnot. And so even to this point where there's this there's this radio DJ personality, DJ Academicus. The trial was supposed to happen on Wednesday, and it essentially got dismissed for the day. They're gonna postpone it for different reasons. And this DJ guy was like essentially posting a false narrative update and was saying that like, oh yeah, it turns out that it wasn't even Tory Lanez's DNA. It wasn't even found on the gun that was allegedly used to shoot her. And this started to circulate, and Megan hopped on Instagram to just essentially share her anger about these false narratives. She said, court ain't even started yet, so why y'all ready to start lying? I know some of y'all blogs on payroll, but please don't get sued trying to create a hate campaign. She said, be a real journalist and post facts. And to my haters, keep making yourself look stupid. I don't care. Y'all got breaking news 15 minutes before court even started, and nobody has even been called in yet. Y'all trying to win a social media campaign, but my life is real.
Yeah.
Stop spreading false narratives. This was all like fabricated and made up. And I'm just like, especially if you are a radio, like Renee, you and I come on here every day, and we know that we have a responsibility to say as many factual and truthful things as we possibly can. It is absolutely filtering through our own opinions and our own biases, but we really try to put as many facts as possible out there. You have a responsibility. People are listening. People are taking in what is it we're saying, and it's just so wild to start making things up like that.
Yeah, that's Megan, I'm sorry that's happening to you. It is, media's bananas.
And she said the only thing that happened in court that day is that it got pushed to April 5th. That's it. So y'all are just continue spreading these lies.
Right. And it's, I think that I'm sure this is also featured in Don't Look Up, but so from the reporter standpoint, or you can also see this on the morning show, is that ratings are everything. Money is everything. Dollars speak. To report good or boring news will not get listeners or viewers. And so I think I am on Megan's side. I'm 100% on Megan's side in this, but to slightly less villainize the reporters or the anchors, I'm sure that they're getting pressure from their network of no, we need a salacious story. Let's not be accountable here. Not to defend them too much, but yeah, it
No,
sucks.
sure.
Sorry. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
sure. No, sure. Yeah.
It's
Well,
tricky.
there it is. Oh,
What
look
we
at
got?
this. And Doug coming in. If you need an extra substitute host, or just another one, are you volunteering, Doug? Would you like
Doug,
to come and be an
well,
extra?
honestly, Doug, I
Come
need you
on
as a
over here.
correspondent reporter for my next story, which happened in Columbus, Ohio. So I'm not sure if you were in Columbus or
Oh,
not, but if
can I
yes,
just add
please,
one more thing about the Megan
please,
story?
yes.
So sorry. But Tory Lanez is trying to say that like, oh, she was just mad and jealous, and that's like of this, that there was like, he's trying to say that there was like, he had slept with her best friend, and that's where this whole entire thing happened. And she just like, she's like, you shot me. That's what happened. This is what you shot me. And this isn't just some cat fight. I don't know if that was worth me circling back
No,
for.
it
but
was. It
just,
absolutely was. Yeah.
okay.
No, I think
All right.
just good to double down. Okay. Well, shoot. I'm sorry that happened. Do you want to end on a silly one? In Columbus, Ohio? Okay. So again, Doug, this happened in Columbus, Ohio. I'm not sure if you're close to that or if you get the station WSYX ABC. So the local ABC network had a field reporter whose name is Mild Harris. And Mild Harris is very talented, has done incredible stories. So he's trying to report the news. To watch the video, you'll see why it's, and he's like, and so you see him just like double take, and then you see him like throw his arms up, and he just goes, "I'm sorry, that's my mom." His mom drives up, just boom, 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 boom. Like it is flowing traffic, and she stops the car, so she creates a background. She's like, "Hi, baby, you're doing great." Just like gives him a little cheer, and always is in no urgency whatsoever to move along, but just like waving at him and telling him he's doing a great job. And he's like, "Mom, you're backing up traffic," and she's like, "Okay, great job." It's so sweet. So we got a little stage mom in Columbus, Ohio. If it makes sense to you, again, the station was WSYX ABC6, and the reporter is Miles Harris, and he handled it with aplomb, but it is very sweet and funny, and I want to be best friends with that mom. Love it. Just stop traffic in a two-lane, like busy street to just be like, "You guys will wait. That's my kid." Love it. Adorable.
That sounds like something that like my mom would do.
Yeah.
That's what that sounds like. I love that so much. Well,
adorable. Yep.
Good job to moms. We love that so much.
We love moms.
Yay.
We love moms.
Right. Well, Renee, we did the news. That's that. Nothing new happening. News done. We did you.
Nothing else.
Nothing else can happen.
No, it's going to be an easy breezy weekend. Everything's going to be fine.
Well, would you like to play a game?
I sure would. Okay. Yes, please. I would love to play a game.
Well, it's time for Fact Friday. Fact Friday. These are facts and some of them more. It's Fact Friday. Jam, you lying. Tell me if I'm lying. Boop, boop. There it is. All
Love
right.
it. I can't wait. I'm very excited for this. I know nothing about this topic, so I'm excited to see how wrong I get it. Get on uppers. I need you. Not that that's an exception. I always do. Not great at these games, but I love playing them.
Well, there it is. This. Yes. So we were doing George Washington edition here, and mainly because again, as Renee pointed out, my ego narcissism was like, well, I don't know these facts, so nobody else possibly could know these either.
No, you have no ego. You have no narcissism. You were the most caring, compassionate person on the planet. And I think we're all going to learn some good stuff.
Okay. All right. Well, here it is. So these are on George Washington, who just celebrated their birthday. Well, I don't know. We celebrated his birthday. It was on February 22nd. He was a 222 tour. So was my roommate. I found out on the 23rd.
Look at that. Is that what all the happy unbirthday cakes are for? No, it was on the birthday. Okay.
But there were actually birthday cupcakes delivered.
Did you get in on that?
No.
Right.
I was offered, but I
declined.
I declined. I gotta keep summers right in the corner. Okay. You will, if you've been here before, you know how Jam You Lion works. Alex, just in time, Jam must have known Jam You Lion is coming up. So we're playing a game called Jam You Lion. George Washington edition.
Love it. We love it. Exactly.
Uh,
We did need
so
to
the
talk
way
about Miles Harris one more time. Just one more
we
time.
did just one more time. Can we see that picture? Let's see it.
George
There we
Washington.
go.
Love
There
it.
he is. In case you forgot, it's this man. Oh gosh. So it's George Washington. He had a birthday, but I think we don't know everything we think we know about him. So the way this is gonna work, if you think the fact that I'm saying is true, you'll say Jam, that's right. As in me, I am
Right.
Jam.
You are right.
Jam, that's right. If you think I am lying, you will say Jam, you lion.
Love
Jam,
it.
you lion. If you think it is wrong. So
And get on
here
uppers.
we
I
go.
need your help. I need your help. Okay.
All right, gonna learn so much about George Washington. Okay,
All right.
George Washington had 30 brothers and sisters. George Washington had 30 brothers and sisters.
Follow-up question? From the same parents?
I cannot
You
confirm nor deny.
confirm nor deny. Okay.
That's a good question. Yeah.
30 brothers or
Yeah.
sisters. Okay. That seems like
Look.
so many. But it's also a weird thing to bring up if you didn't. All right, get on uppers. Do you have any idea of what that could be? I'm gonna go with Jam You Lion unless it was from different parents. Like if the parents divided and conquered to get that done. Okay, Jam You Lion.
I love your process of elimination, and I also love your seems like a weird thing to bring up. If it's why would we bring this up? So let's see. It can be a trick. Oh, but even Tim said, "Look at that, Tim Pipe
What's Tim
coming
saying?
in,
What's
coming
Tim
in."
saying? What's Tim? What
Tim
do we
said
got?
it
I need
could
you.
be a
I need
trick,
you. Could be a
but
trick.
Jam You
Jam
Lion.
Okay.
Right, seems like the consensus is that I'm lying. Y'all are right. I am lying. Do you want to take a wager of how many? Even Doug says,
Jam You
"Sorry,
Lion.
Jam You Lion." I appreciate the apology. Look
That's
how
very
Doug and
kind.
I are such close friends. And Doug is like, "I hate to call you a liar, friend,
We're best buds.
but you're
But
lying."
you
No.
are lying. Okay.
Does anybody want to take a wager of how many brothers and sisters this man did have?
Oh, yeah.
He did have brothers and sisters. Do you want to take
Tim
a
and
guess?
Doug, what do you want to say? 7? Should we say 7? Does he seem like he came from a big family? I'll say 7, and if it's right, then we all get credit, and if it's wrong, you guys had nothing to do with it. Okay, Doug said he actually had 9 siblings. Doug says 9. Let's go with 9.
Okay. Doug actually might be correct. So the answer, it says he had 10, and I'm not
Okay.
sure if it means that there were 10 in the entire bunch.
Gotcha. Okay.
And Tim coming in hot, but he probably had something like ridiculous.
60 or something
like
insane.
60.
Yeah.
No, it's actually more closer to Doug's number. It was 9 or 10. I'm not sure if 10 is including him or if there were 9 brothers and sisters. But Doug's point of saying he actually had 9 siblings makes me think that he actually makes me think Doug knows exactly. And
He knows. He knows. Okay, we'll take it. We'll listen to it.
Okay, how about
Kaylee,
this?
we're so happy to have you here. Excited, and Kaylee's here to help as well. Okay,
Oh, good. Kaylee, help us out. We're playing Jam You Lion, George Washington edition. Why? He just had a birthday.
And it's interesting. It's
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing. So George Washington never received a formal education. Is it Jam That's Right or Jam You Lion?
Okay, what do we remember, guys? Right. Tim, Doug.
George Washington never received a formal education.
Okay, there's a cherry tree. Did he have to chop down the cherry tree for research?
What's that?
Right. Yeah, no kidding.
He chopped down the cherry tree for research.
Well, I didn't. For another reason. I didn't know it. Like, did his teacher tell him to chop down the cherry tree? And then who did he lie to about it? I can't remember.
Nothing to do with this formal education.
I'm trying to figure out if he went to school.
Oh, who told him that? Yeah, was it his teacher? Was it the voices in his head?
Yeah, who knows? I'm gonna go with no. He's just a smarty. So no,
so you're calling me a liar.
A liar. Jam You Lion. Jam You Lion.
Renee's calling me a liar. You heard it. And Renee, how dare you? It's right. He never received a formal education.
I love that.
He had private tutors. He had private tutors. The
Very
man
cool.
came from money. Man came from money.
Ooh, I did not know such a thing.
lot of the see, Doug knew. Doug knows, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the founding fathers, if you think about it, and really, if we get really down to brass tacks of it, a lot. And this is, again, in my point of view, from what I know about history, please correct me if I'm wrong. This is what I am seeing from history, is that it was like a lot of the people who wanted to really start their own country. They're like, well, we have our own money and our own thing. Let's just start our own. Why are we paying taxes over there? We could do it all locally, right?
Just do it here.
Let's just do it here. I mean, even the only people who could vote are people who had like own property, right? So it's people who essentially had money. So
if you watch Succession, you'll see that still happens to this very day. The people with money get to decide who's in office. We love it so much.
I mean, it's but hey, at least we've got Netflix. Next one. I know. We've got Maybelline. Maybe
we sure do.
It.
Yeah, we sure do.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So George Washington had no slaves. Was not about it. He was like, no slaves for me, sir. George Washington had no slaves. Is that jam, you lying, or jam, that's a fact? Is that jam, you lying, or jam, that's a fact?
He was a wealthy white man? No. He had slaves. I'm sorry. But Tim and Doug, please chime in. What do we think?
Oh, Renee,
so I say jam, you lie.
Okay. Wealthy white man? No way. No. Oh man, what do we think?
Laugh because it hurts to cry.
You going with Jammy Lion?
Yeah, I'm going with
Tim would say, yeah, Jammy Lion. So those things too, it's sort of like you're like, oh man, because it's like when you're a kid, you're just thought like, at least me, it was like you're like, ooh, George Washington, cherry tree. You're just taught all these like, yeah. You're just Yeah, I am lying. He did. So George Washington began inheriting enslaved people when he was 11. So he inherited 10 enslaved people from his father's will, and then would go on to inherit, purchase, rent, gain control over the course of his life, about 577.
Oof, okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Hate it.
So,
okay.
yeah.
All right.
That's
all
it.
right.
I just didn't know. I don't know. I think I knew, but I didn't know that when you just know the numbers, it's just a little bit different,
Yeah.
How about this? What were you gonna say?
It absolutely does not. It doesn't defend in any way, shape, or form. But I think when it is the norm, you don't consider.
Sure.
You don't consider.
Yeah. Yep.
Would love to believe that if he were around today, he would choose differently. But who knows?
Well, maybe let's keep doing this quiz and we'll see if anything changed.
Okay.
His views on slavery got worse over time. Even up until his death, he refused to free his own slaves. Is that jam, you lying, or jam, that's right?
Well, we can't celebrate him anymore if that's a fact. So for the point of me not walking out of this quiz, let's go with jam, you lie. And he eventually was just like, oh shoot, this is not what I should be doing.
All right.
What do we think? What do we think? Tim
hoping, because Renee's got her passport ready to go. In case this is true.
Yeah.
Let's see. And
like
Tim
that,
also
Tim.
is gonna go with some optimism and say, "Jam, you lion." Everyone's hoping for the best. We're rooting for you, George. We are rooting for you. Let's see. Survey says you're right. I am absolutely lying. Absolutely, Ryan.
Right.
So
Stop this quiz. We're not gonna give any more time on this show. Okay, yes, tell us everything.
Yes, he actually addressed the issue of slavery in his will and ordered that his workers be freed at his wife's death. So that was considered a very powerful statement at the time. And so he actually even began questioning slavery during the Revolutionary War. He wrote this. He said, "I never mean, unless some particular circumstance should compel me to it, to possess another slave by purchase, it being among the first wishes to see some plan adopted by the legislature by which slavery in the country may be abolished by slow, sure, and impractical degrees, and this was in 1786.
Good.
He did also avoid the conversation because he was afraid it would tear the country apart. So he kind of was just like, I don't want to.
I'm
I
not
don't
going
want
to
to
do it,
touch
but I won't
this.
talk about it.
I
Look,
don't
would you
wanna
look
touch
at
it."
Tim's response to such a thing? This is the funniest thing I've read all week. If it were true, I would throw away all of my dollar bills and quarters. Meow.
More.
It's the
I will
worst.
not be doing any laundry at a quarter operating machine. You require quarters?
Exactly.
Not
Yep.
here.
Yep.
Not me, sir.
Yeah.
Not me.
Yeah. And gosh, it is tricky because I think he's right. I think if he were to like really double down on it, then it would create a nation. I mean, we've seen it. That's what's happening right now. It creates a nation divided immediately. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
it's tricky.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It wasn't. Yeah, I guess it wasn't his thing to do. I will say though too. Also, he it looks like some reports on this Mount Vernon website said that like it was also costing him more money to have the slaves because
Mm,
his farm just wasn't doing that well. So he's
mm,
also like, oh, gosh,
mm,
it's costing me more money. So that was
mm.
also part of his philosophy and thought as well.
Okay. Well,
Yeah. All right. His next one is he said, I wish I could quit of Negroes. I wish I could quit of Negroes. Did he say that? Was that a thing he said? I wish I could quit of Negroes.
I hate this. Tim, Doug, what do we think? Did he say
I didn't
that?
realize this would be so awkward. We'll get to the fun. We'll get to the cherry tree in a moment.
No, we don't need to keep it fun. This is important to know about. In what context? What does he mean? Why? I wish
I
I
don't know.
could
It's
quit
just
of
a quote.
Negroes. And again, like it was that time, so I'm sure at the time that seemed like diplomatic and a very fair thing to say. I can't. Yeah, Jim, that's a fact. But why did he say it? What do we think? Oh, good. Tim says, "I really hope not jam you, lion." Okay, yeah, let's go with Tim.
I don't think that's correct.
Yeah.
I gotta go, Jamie Lie. Y'all, no, he did say this. He
Okay.
did say this. I wish I could quit of Negroes. I think again, like he wished that he couldn't have. He's like, why can't I quit you? Straight up Brokeback Mountain style. But like, in the way that like he wished there was like this addiction to having slaves. That was.
Do we have? Is there other things that we can't discuss on this show that were happening?
I don't know. All I know is he said this in 1778. So
Okay.
there it is. So how about this one? He never had any biological children of his own. He never had any biological children of his own. Is it Jam You Lion or Jam That's Right? It's like, no, he had tons of children. Or
Everyone had kids. Everyone had kids back then. So Tim, what do you think? Is that a Tim, Doug? What do we think? I say Jam You Lion. He absolutely had kids. What do you guys think? Yeah, we'll go with that. Jam You Lion.
All right.
Jam You Lion.
Easton, welcome. We're playing Jam You Lion. Am I telling the truth or am I lying? You can just enter your device, say Jam That's Right or Jam You Lion. And the question is, the statement is he never had any biological children of his own. Tim is saying Jam You Lion. Everyone thinking he's got these kids running around. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see.
Well, good thing we're having this little get together because I'm right. He never had any biological children. He had two stepchildren that from the previous marriage. His wife had from the previous marriage. See, Doug knew. Doug knows Washington.
You're correct.
Interesting. Doug been doing.
Okay.
All right. Here's this next one.
Ready.
The cherry tree story is a real story.
I feel like we've heard over and over again that it's a lie, right?
Is a real story. Is Jam You Lion or Jam That's Right? The cherry tree story is a real story.
Remember the cherry tree story? I think, is it something like he went and he cut down a cherry tree and then somebody said, hey, did you cut down this cherry tree? And he said, I cannot tell a lie. I didn't. I did. I cut down the cherry tree.
No, that's the story. That's the story.
Why did he cut down the cherry tree? Or maybe he's lying. I never cut down. But why in the scenario that he did? What, just so he could get to the cherries?
Well, we'll find. Well, I don't know.
Okay, you're about to tell me. Much. Okay, all right. Okay. Doug and Tim, I have heard that it is a lie. But how do you guys feel? Do you think
Look
it's a
at
lie?
Tim. Jam, you lying about that
Yeah.
cherry tree story.
Okay, I go with Tim. Tim's always right. Tim's always right. We agree with Tim. Yeah.
Coming in with the fire right
Yes.
now. You lied about that cherry tree.
No,
You
it's not
lying.
true. It's not true. Jam, you
Lying.
lying. Yes.
It's true. I am lying. It's a myth, and it started in a book by Mason Locke Weems called "The Life of Washington."
Okay. And then
So that's all. And even Doug said I was lying as well.
yeah,
And then people were
everybody
like,
thinks
"Oh,
you're
this is
lying.
real."
Everybody thinks you're lying. Why does anybody know why he cut down the cherry tree in the mid? Did he just want to get to the cherry? I just don't understand, why would you cut down a cherry tree? To get to cherries?
Kids will be kids, you know.
Kids will be
Kids
kids.
be
Okay.
wildin'.
Okay.
Kids will be wildin'. And I think that's the thing we should have asked ourselves that. Our producer Sarah said because he was mad at his dad.
Oh.
Because he was
Oh,
mad at his dad.
right.
And maybe it was like his dad's cherry tree.
Dad's favorite
And he was like,
tree.
"Oh, I'll show you, Dad."
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So
funny.
maybe
That's funny.
that's
Yeah.
it. You're just
Alright.
being a brat, according
Just
to
being
producer Sarah. Just being a brat. Just cutting it
Alright.
down. But I
Okay.
guess the idea was like they needed some sort of story about how honest he was or how he couldn't lie.
Mhm.
And they came up with this fabricated story
I'll take it. I'll
with
take it.
lots of plot holes. Lots of plot holes.
Yeah. Certainly. Clearly, based off the amount of questions that I have just in this big memory of it. Okay. Yeah. Teenage angst. Yep. Euphoria founding fathers, Tim.
I mean, this was the Euphoria story of the day. This was the
Truly.
Euphoria. This
Truly.
is the teen angst
Oh, my
Euphoria of the
goodness.
day. Like,
Tim, I don't know if you were a tweeter, but please, dear God, tweet that joke. That is hilarious. Very
Wow.
funny. Washington chopping down the cherry tree as Euphoria's founding fathers. Hilarious.
Yep,
I will I will retweet. That's brilliant. Okay, moving on.
Maybe we need a Euphoria prequel, like, but starring the founding fathers. You know, they had issues. They were teens
would
once.
watch it. I would watch it. Yeah.
Let's see. He only left North America once. He only left North America once.
Because I've seen that picture of him on a boat. But
This is the reference you. Anytime there's a George Washington question, Renee goes to this quite often.
A photograph of him on a boat. Like, Renee, that is a painting. It is an artist rendering. You have not seen a photograph. Only left one. Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. What do we think? Tim, Doug, what do we think? He's only left the country once? Because that's a lot. That is a long haul. I think I would.
Oh, yeah. It's not like today.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one's like, wow, what a boring man.
Yeah, no one going to
out, did he?
Summer in Greece, like every summer. Yeah, I'll go with one. Yes, that's true. He only left once.
Jam, that is correct. Yes. Okay. He only left once. He went to Barbados, which is also where he got smallpox.
Do you know who else is in Barbados? Shirley Chisholm.
Rihanna.
We learned that yesterday.
That's very true. Yes. It was like Rihanna. No,
Mm,
Shirley
okay.
Chisholm. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. That's right. Popular island. Okay. Last one.
Yes.
Last one.
Okay.
George Washington led an attack that started a world war. Is it Jam that's right? Or Jam, you lying?
Okay. History has its eyes on
Seeing the again, George Washington led an attack that started a world war. Renee is singing the entire soundtrack of Hamilton. Eliza, the Schuyler sisters.
And Peggy. Yeah, okay. Let's go with that. Though he led the attack or he responded to the attack.
It says that he led an attack that started a world war.
Yeah. Tim and Doug both say that's a fact, and I agree with him. Yes.
Well, actually, this is a throwback to this is also a test of Renee's memory. It ain't what she used to be, because we actually covered this on Tuesday, and I thought maybe I'd.
No, I'm telling you, it is a concern. You are watching someone develop Alzheimer's before your very eyes.
Because on Tuesday the question was, what world war did he start? And you were like World War One.
It was World War. It was the French Revolution. Oh, I see. So you tricked me. Okay.
Yes.
So no.
Did I trick you?
Did
I didn't. Oh, you tricked me. You tricked me. Did I? I just repeated dang near the same exact question. So to remind you to forget later on, and that's right, he did help
Right.
start a world war.
Yeah.
Before we named them world wars, but in
Right.
1754, Washington led a surprise attack upon a small French force at Jumonville Glen, and his surrender to the French forces at the Battle of Fort Necessity helped spark the French and Indian War, which was part of the imperial conflict between Great Britain and France, known as the 7 Years' War. So
Great.
I was fighting everybody. So
Love it. Okay, that sounds good. We're going to
that.
go ahead and need to delete this from YouTube. I cannot.
Oh, that thing that we just talked about this week. Got it. All
No,
right. Yep. Yep.
you will be blown away if you have a creative meeting with me. The ideas that will come out of it. She is a genius.
I
Do not
know. I know. We've been
riddle
in
me
those
with
meetings.
history.
Don't bog me down in the past. I'm about the future, baby. What's going on in the future? And they were like, "Oh, Renee, that idea you had 10 minutes ago, it was great." What? Huh? I don't remember. On to the
I
next.
couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. I think there have been studies that show that you can develop this skill. I just haven't chosen to. And
Okay.
some brains with ADHD have a hard time remembering things. I am making excuses all over the place. I should know this. It was not World War
Listen,
I.
you need space to hold in all that delicious Marvel information. You don't have time for this. You don't have time for this. You know. No. Okay, Renee,
Yes.
it's time for your highlight reel. We're right on time. Renee, your highlight reel from the week.
What all happened? And I did write it down because Lord knows I cannot be
Got
made to
a little
remember such a
nervous for
thing.
you. I was like, if Renee didn't write this down,
is she gonna know? In
we'll
fact,
need
in
help from the
last
Get On
week's production
Uppers.
meeting, I was like, Sarah, can you please keep track of this for me? Because I won't. So I had to go back through all yesterday and figure out what we did. So on Tuesday, it was Tuesday. So we got to celebrate all the twos on Tuesday, which we love so much. It's also nice that it happened on a Tuesday. Oh, that was nice thinking. It was polite of the calendar to let that land on a Tuesday. So it was
they were thinking.
Tuesday. You told us all about Kathy Williams, the Cathay, right?
Yeah, Cathay.
Cathay. Speaking of fighting like a warrior, Kathy Williams is amazing. And we had our very first, it was Tuesday, but it's because we took Monday off. We had our very first Marvel movie Monday, wherein you told us all about Captain America, the first one. And for people that missed it, it was not a 3-year difference between filming. That tiny body was CGI'd. So I learned a lot about how they made Chris Evans. That's who's got
how they doing it.
Chris Evans tiny. And then on Wednesday, Jam told us all about Philippe Luciano. My goodness gracious. There's the people that are better than us is the theme of the show. And then I told you about how Tom Holland's mom called the studio to say my son needs more pee breaks because the Spider-Man costume wasn't allowing him to go to the bathroom and he was embarrassed, but it was a charming and adorable story. And then we both talked about how good Holding Out for a Hero dance number is on Euphoria.
So good. So good. So good. And y'all, as Renee is recounting the week, do you have any highlights that you enjoyed from the week? If you were here during the week or maybe even today, what stood out for you this week? Shout it out in the comments. What was one of your favorite parts from the week? But Renee, what happened then on Thursday?
And then on Thursday, it was just bad news as far as the eye could see. So we tried to tiptoe around Russia invading Ukraine and the governor in Texas. Maybe this weekend it'll get better. So we reported all the horrible news. I showed you how to perfectly flip a pizza on a skillet 50% of the time. Masterfully done. No notes. Did I drop it the second time? Sure. But for the most part, you just take the pan, you flip the pan. Easy. You'll never spread cheese again. Amazing.
And shout out to Tim who got us on that tangent and just said, hey, I think it's time for a cooking segment. And we just went down this food tangent that y'all have never been so lively. So we got to work in more food segments. Clearly.
You get it. Yes, so that'll be coming next week. And then I did a little quiz on Shirley Chisholm. And we got to learn all about Shirley, who was in Barbados as a little kiddo. Which is what we learned.
Well, look, that was also Doug's favorite part of the week was Renee trying to show us how to cook a pizza on a pan. Everyone's highlight. Everyone's talking about we need more
Pretty
cooking
funny.
demos
Pretty
with
funny.
Renee from her living room.
Yep. And
We
insistent.
need more of
No,
them.
I need to go show you. No, I need to go show you how this works. And then I dropped it on the floor and immediately put it back on the pan. And then Jim goes, "Oh, just back on the pan, I see."
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. No, it was great. We loved it. Danielle, Elijah, Fred, become welcome. We are just recounting the highlights from this week. So if you missed anything, Renee just recounted them. Also, I thought your Shirley Chisholm quiz was phenomenal. Loved it. It was so
That's very
good.
That's
I
very
hope
sweet.
it gets posted on all the quiz
All the
websites. I
things.
hope
All
it
the
gets
things.
posted.
All the things. Well, you have set the gold standard for how to do this. Just carrying the show, my sweet, sweet buddy.
No, it's a
Yes.
tag team effort. And then Doug has a recommendation. Maybe you can do it while on the air. Make a pizza from scratch,
Ooh.
Renee.
That will
Let's
not happen, Doug,
see.
but I will show you how I order it. I can do that.
Beep, bop, boop, bop, beep, bop, beep.
Do that,
Hello.
and then you put it in Postmates, and then you tip a lot, and then you go get it, and you eat it, and that's how you make a
Well,
pizza.
save some show for next week, Renee. Save some show for next week. That'll happen next
Okay.
week. It is time for Forget About It Friday. I can't believe we're already about to wrap up the
Goodness
week.
gracious.
So it
Yes.
is forget. Okay, Renee. Right. Renee's favorite day of the week is absolutely Friday
Forget
into
about it Friday.
Saturday.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right. And so it's Forget About It Friday. What are you all going to forget about this week? What are we leaving behind this week? It does not serve you. Shout it out in the comments. What is something that you're just like, you know what? Not taking this with me into the next week. What are we going to forget about and leave behind? Renee, what are you going to
Yes.
forget about?
Yes, I'm gonna forget the phrase "I'm so tired" because it's not helping me. It's not helping me at all. I think it when I first wake up.
Yeah.
I think it throughout the day. I think it when I'm doing what I perceive to be a bad job on the show. I'm like, I'm so tired. Stop it. Stop. That's not helping you. So you just have to think, I got this. I would like to stop feeling pity for myself for being a little sleepy. That's it. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Renee, I like that so much. And because, Renee, who was it? Someone was saying it. There was someone who was maybe on Brene Brown's podcast, or maybe it was James Nallen. Someone was saying that, like, a lot of times the first thought that we have when we wake up is, I didn't get enough sleep. And
Sure.
so the first thing that we're saying is, I am not enough. That we're
Ooh,
starting off with not
interesting.
enoughness
Yeah.
as the first part, as opposed to maybe just saying, thank you, or
Great.
I got this as the
Yes.
first thought of the day, turning
Yeah.
that around. So,
Yeah.
because it's like, we had mentioned this on Wednesday Wisdom, whether you say you can or you can't, you're right. And
Mhm.
so which way do you want to have it? And Oprah has this really great anecdote where she talks about how she was very tired on the set of Color Purple, and she was going to film something, and she just went to the bathroom and she looked at herself in the mirror and she's like, I have a lot of energy. I'm excited. I've got this. I am full of energy. I am full of energy. I'm full of energy. I'm awake. I'm alive. And started turning that, and that, fake it till you make it. And
Right.
she went out there and
It's
she
so
crushed
true
it.
because
So,
it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you like, it's harder to do in a positive way, but in a negative way, watch how fast your body agrees with you. So I love that. I will
yeah,
go into the mirror and be like, I got so much energy. I got so much
I got so much
energy.
energy.
Yeah.
I
So I'm
got so much
gonna
energy. I got this. It's so great.
forget about the phrase "I'm so tired." Doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah. I Yeah, it's sort of like, also too, maybe since we're preventing ourselves from feeling good, why are we keeping ourselves from feeling good? Because
Love it.
if you're the gatekeeper,
Mhm.
why don't you want yourself to be happy?
Thank you.
Maybe because
Yeah.
it's harder to feel. So even
Love it.
Alex just said yes.
Yes.
Alex is like,
Yes,
I agree.
Alex. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
How about you,
I am
Jan? What
gonna
are you forgetting
forget.
about?
I'm gonna forget about how I'm gonna forget about, how do I phrase this? I want to be a better gift and co-host to you, Renee. I feel like on Thursday, I'm gonna forget about how I feel like I wasn't really a good co-host to
You were
you on
the best
Thursday.
co-host. What I wanna unpack that real
I
quick. We've
wasn't
got time.
I
What
wasn't
how
listening.
no.
I
No.
was impatient because the show wasn't going perfectly. I want to forget about, maybe we'll do this. I'll forget about my perfectionism. I want to leave perfectionism, or strive um strive, because I'm not gonna snap my fingers. I'm gonna be perfect next week about it. There we go. Look at that. I'm not gonna be perfect at forgetting perfectionism. Did you just hear that?
I did. I did.
I
I think for
want to forget
you,
about being perfect. I want
what
to
we
move towards forgetting about being
need
perfect.
to do, because you won't do that. I think what we need to do is redefine what perfect means. I think because
I
it
do
does a little bit.
appreciate that.
You're always going to be a
You
perfectionist.
won't do that.
That's not going to happen.
No, not in 1 week. No.
But I wonder if you could redefine a perfect show is being present the whole time, and then start to lean towards that.
Okay.
And then like, what
All
does
right.
that look like? Or for the one show that we weren't able to adhere to the schedule of just like, okay, well then perfect for this show is going to mean I just have to be present. That's it. But I also disagree. I think you killed it. And I think I am I am the wrecking ball with which our sweet, sweet Miley Cyrus sings of. I embody just a wrecking ball coming in and out of the show. And you do such a good job of just like, all right, we got her.
I too could be a wrecking ball, but someone's got to keep, but I want to be fun.
You are fun.
I want to be the cool fun host too. So I don't know
Cool.
what exactly I'm forgetting about, but I'm going to move towards being just more present and just in daily life. I'm going to take that in as well. I would like to move into being more present, and I want to take yours of just having even more positive thoughts as well.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Get on uppers. You know what else we love? You. You're the very best. Thank you for sticking with us this week. You guys are the greatest. Producer Sarah, you were also the best. And Jim, we're going to be back on Monday for Marvel Movie Monday. Yes, we're leaving with an assignment on our plate.
You will have a homework assignment. We're kicking off with Marvel Movie Monday. We want you to be able to join in on the conversation. So be sure to watch Captain Marvel with Brie Larson. A little bit of extra credit. If you have Disney Plus, scroll down. They have the full timeline order already mapped out for you. So we already did Captain America, the first one. And then there's a one shot of Peggy Carter. So if you want to do extra credit, there's a little 10-minute movie about Peggy Carter going on an adventure. Don't watch the series because we don't have time for that, but it's like a 10-minute Peggy Carter, and then it's Captain Marvel. So we'll kick it off with that. We'll do some Monday mantras. We'll do our last Black History moment before we get into Women's History Month in March. And it's going to be a great on time. And we'll be back here at 7 a.m. Pacific time, 8 a.m. Mountain time, 9 a.m. Central time, 10 a.m. Eastern, right here on your back channel or YouTube or Echo device.
Wherever you find us. And we've got more programming for you today. Up next is Anthony Davis. After that, your pal Hal. And we'll be ending the day with Mario Smith. You guys have the very best weekend.
Yes, thank you all so much. And don't forget, leave a review at www.backchannel.tv. Tell them how much you love us. And we'll see you later. Goodbye. I just really quick. Bye, Leo, Beckon, Daniel, Fred, Alex, Doug, Cole, Jennifer Lopez, Nathan, MC, Bella, Stacy, Sunny, Chandler, Verona, Deborah, Gliss, Amanda, Steve, Tim. Have a great weekend. Thanks for watching. Get on up. I'm James Arthur M.
And I'm Renee Colbert. And you just get on up. Have a great weekend. We love you.